Hello everyone, welcome you to Unit 5 Stories. Wish you a good day. Your opinion, what makes a good story? What is your favorite children's story and why? Do you feel that you are good at telling story? Why or why not? There are some questions for you to think before we start the lesson. Now tell me and your friends. Now, look at the pictures. What different kinds of story do they represent? Can you write the correct word below each picture? We have adventures, mystery, folktale, romance. You know adventure, phiêu lưu, right? Mystery, bí hiểm, right? Folktale, cổ tích. Romance là chuyện gì nhỉ? Yeah, tình cảm lãng mạn, right? So, which pictures go with which word? The first one, adventure. The second one, romance. The third one, folktale. And the last one, mystery. Right. Our reading today is Nares Den Hoja and the Candle. However, before we start the reading, we have an exercise about vocabulary. Look at the sentences from 1 to 10 and pay attention to the word in bold. Can you write each bold words next to each definition? Now, firstly, let's read the bold words. Bargain, challenge, complain, convince, imagine, impressed, normally, particularly, protest, reluctantly, bargain, a bargain, so bargain is a noun. Scientist, challenge, it is a verb. My parents always complain, a verb. I couldn't convince, verb. I imagine, verb. Impress people, it is a verb. She isn't acting normally today, so normally is an adverb. Particularly adverb as well. Protest, verb. Reluctantly, another adverb. Okay, now match or you write. You write the bold words at the beginning of each definition. Okay, this is the answers for you. Now, let's read the word and its definition. The first word, bargain. Bargain goes with E. An agreement between people or groups about what each of them will do for the other. Number 2, challenge. To say something strongly, especially when others do not believe you. Number 3, complain. To say that you do not like something or that you are unhappy about something. How about number 4, convinced? To make someone believe something, right? 5, imagine. Imagines mean to form a pictures or ideas of something in your mind. 6, impress. Impress means to make someone feel admiration and respect. 7, normally. Normally means in a usual or unordinary way. 8, particularly. In a way that is more than usual. G, number 9, protest, right? To question whether something is true or right, to argue something is wrong. And the last one, reluctantly, in a way that shows you don't want to do something because you're unsure it is right or wrong. Okay, that's all the way the pronunciation and the definition of 10 news words. Now, can you read it again? Now, we move to reading one. Narashdin's Horseshoe and the Candle. It is a Turkish folktale about Narashdin Horseshoe. Horseshoe means teacher. The Horseshoe is a very smart man. In this story, the Horseshoe's friend challenged him to stay out all night in cold weather without warm clothes. How do you think the Horseshoe will stay warm? Now, let's read the folktale. One day during a particularly cold winter, Narashdin Horseshoe and his friend sat in a coffee house discussing the weather. At first, they spoke normally, but soon they were bragging about the things they could do. Before long, the Horseshoe stuck out his chest proudly. You may think that we are having a cold winter. Personally, I love cold and snow. When I was a boy, I used to go out in the middle of January and break the ice on the river so that I could have a good swim in the water. Wow, this cold is nothing. His friend did not believe his story. Looking at each other, they decided to challenge him. His best friend said, Roger, you say that you like cold weather. I suppose you could stay out all night long in the cold without coat or blanket or anything at all to warm yourself. Of course, said the Roger. No fire, no hot tea, no blanket, no coat. The other seemed impressed. Well, said his friend, will I make a bargain with you? If you can stay outside tonight with absolutely nothing extra to warm you all night long, you'll be our guest at a fine dinner. Will you pay for everything? Right, friends? Right, they agreed. On the other hand, his friend continued, if you use any special item to keep yourself warm, you will have to make dinner for all of us. How about that? Fine, fine, agreed the Hodger. That evening, Jehoshaphat's friend watched through the windows of their warm houses as the Hodger strolled here and there, studying the stars in the chilly sky and wishing 1,000 times that he hadn't agreed to the bargain. It was freezing outside. Just as he was about to give up, he saw a candle in a window about 100 meters away. Staring thoughtfully at the candle, the Hodger imagined that the warmth of the light had warmed the blood flowing through his cold body. By doing this, he was able to stay out all night in the cold. The next morning, his friend, stepping outside into the cold air, were amazed to find the Hodger calm and smiling. He seemed to be fine, even though he had stayed outside all night. Well, said his best friend, are you sure you didn't use anything special to warm yourself? Not at all, said the Hodger, unless you include a candle burning 100 meters away. I did see a candle, and its burning glow helped me to feel warm during the night. But that doesn't mean that I used anything special. It was just a trick of my mind. No, exclaimed his friend. Harsha, you used that candle to warm yourself. You must be our host at dinner. The Harsha protested that he was right and his friend was wrong. Although he tried and tried, he was unable to convince them. Reluctantly, he invited them to dinner at his house that evening. The group arrived in good time and sat on pillows in the living room, waiting for their meal. But they did not smell the delicious smell that would tell them that the Hodger was preparing a fine meal. As time went by, 1 hour turned into 2 hours and then into 3. The waiting men were hungry and began to complain. There was still no food. At last, his friend asked the Hodger about the delay. "Ah, my friends, the dinner is cooking. You can come and see for yourselves," said the Hodger, and he led them into the kitchen. When they arrived, they were amazed to see a large cooking pot hanging from the ceiling. A single candle was burning 1 meter below the pot. "But Hodger," said his best friend, "surely you don't expect to heat that pot with a candle. The dinner will never be cooked." "Oh, I'm not so sure," answered the Hodger calmly. "If a candle that is 100 meters away can keep me warm all night long, then surely a candle that is only 1 meter away can heat a pot for your dinner." Okay, that's the end of the reading one. Now can you read it again and then do the exercise that follows? The first exercise about main idea. You have to read the statement and decide whether they are true or false. You may correct each false statement to make it true. Now, firstly, read the folktales again and again if necessary, and then read the statement from 1 to 5. Based on what you have read, decide the statement is true or false. This is the answer for you. Number 1. The Hodger's friend believed him when he said he loved cold and snow. Is it true? No, right. So it is false. Number 2. The Hodgers agreed to stay outside with hot tea and a blanket full again, right? The Hodger imagined that the candles were warming his body. It is true. His friend said that he used a coat to stay warm. No. And the last one, he proved to his friend that the light of a candle could actually warm a person or cook a meal. Yeah, it is false again. Now some more multiple choice questions. George said that when he was young, he used to A, B, or C. Stay warm all night, swim in the rivers in the winters, or do many dangerous things. Now, what did he say? Come back to the reading one, right? The first paragraph to see. For question number 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay, please come back to the reading if you do not remember. Can you compare your answer with the answer key? Is this correct or not? Well, when you want to tell someone the story, right? If the story is too long, you need to summarize. It is a reading skill. When you summarize, it means you briefly retell or describe the main ideas or event of a story or an article. Summarizing is a way to check your comprehension and make sure you understand what you have read. Khi các bạn mà kể chuyện cho ai đó đúng không ạ? Ví dụ như nó là một câu chuyện rất là dài thì để tiết kiệm thời gian đúng không ạ? Các bạn có thể kể lại tóm tắt cái sự kiện chính của câu chuyện đó thôi. Đúng không ạ? Đấy chính là cái kỹ năng tóm tắt. Và khi mà bạn hiểu được Những cái gì mà bạn đọc thì bạn mới có khả năng tóm tắt được, đúng không ạ? Vậy thì làm thế nào để chúng ta có thể tóm tắt được một cái bài đọc? Here are some tips for summarizing. Take notes about the main ideas and important details as you are reading. Take notes, okay? Phải ghi chú ra những cái ý chính, đúng không ạ? Và các cái tình tiết quan trọng, hoặc là các bạn có thể gạch chân cũng được, đúng không ạ? Put your ideas together into sentences or paragraphs. If you have trouble summarizing, go back and reread the parts that you didn't understand. If the text is too long, you can stop and summarize parts of it at a time. Tức là nếu như bài đọc của chúng ta quá dài, chúng ta có thể tóm tắt từng đoạn một, đúng không? Now, for example, this is a summary of the beginning of narrating Horcher and the Candle. Đây là một đoạn tóm tắt của cái đoạn đầu tiên trong cái câu chuyện cổ tích mà các bạn vừa nghe đó, đúng không ạ? Narrating Horcher and the Candles is a Turkish tale about a bargain that the Horcher makes with his friend. They are all discussing the cold weather when the Horcher says cold weather doesn't bother him. Đó. However, when you summarize a reading text, remember that you don't have to use the same tense as the original text. For example, if the story is in the past, you can write the summary in the present. Khi các bạn tóm tắt một câu chuyện, nó không nhất thiết là các bạn sẽ phải sử dụng lại cái thì mà giống như ở trong câu chuyện. Thường thường các câu chuyện kể lại thì cái thì ở đó là gì ạ? Thì quá khứ, đúng không ạ? Nhưng khi các bạn tóm tắt, các bạn hoàn toàn có thể viết ở thì hiện tại. Okay. Now, look at exercise B. Can you complete the summary of the first part of reading one? Use your notes when you read the reading one. Okay. If necessary, you can come back and read it again. Take notes some main ideas and important details so that you can complete the summary. After that, can you summarize the rest of the story? This is a suggested answer for you. The Hotjar brags to his friend and tells them he can swim in the cold water, right? His friend do not believe him, so they make a bargain. If he can stay out all night, he'll win and become the guest at a fine dinner. If he can't stay out all night in the cold, his friend will win and he has to make dinner for all of them. Đó, các bạn thấy là gì? Cái toàn bộ cái phần tóm tắt này cô giáo đã sử dụng toàn thì hiện tại thôi, đúng không? Now, read the story again and with a partner, take turns summarizing the rest of the story. Để các bạn quay trở lại, các bạn đọc lại và chúng ta có thể làm việc cùng với bạn của mình. Chúng ta lần lượt chúng ta tóm tắt các cái phần còn lại của câu chuyện được không?
Well, that's the end of the lessons. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you and see you.